Alright, so I'm doing this video today on how to break in your mitt properly. There's a lot of ideas floating around out there, and a lot of them are just garbage. It's bad advice, and a lot of new people into this are going to listen to that if they don't know what's going on, and might make a foul step and ruin their gloves. So first thing I want to cover is the microwave. Don't do it. Okay, microwaves are not designed for breaking in gloves. They're designed for cooking food. Okay, your glove is not a piece of food. It's not beef jerky. It's a glove. Okay, if you want to cook your glove, go right ahead. That's one thing that I hear a lot of is microwaves and ovens, and I just can't advise strongly enough against that sort of thing. It's not going to help you. It's going to hurt you. Period. Microwaves are putting microwaves through your glove and cooking it from the inside out. If you put it in for not enough time, it's just not going to do anything for you. If you put it in for too much time, it's just going to kill your glove. So, it's best just to stay away from that altogether. Can't stress that enough. Stay away from microwaves and ovens. The hot car idea. You can leave it in the car if you want. I wouldn't leave it more than an hour or two, but it is a temporary fix. It's not going to help you in the long run. All it's going to do is soften up the leather, so you can work it in without having to use too much oil. I personally wouldn't use any oil, but I'll get to that in a minute. Shaving cream, big no-no. Okay, use shaving cream to shave your face. It's got chemicals in there that actually soften your skin on your face, and if you leave it on too long, it burns you. Your face will get itchy, and it's just not good, and it's because it's almost alkaline in a sense, so you definitely don't want to rub that stuff on your glove either. Old-time shaving creams were different than what we have now, and they were a little richer in lanolins and other types of chemicals and products, and just not that way anymore. So don't go getting Barbasol and rubbing your glove in it. It's just going to kill your leather. And on top of that, it'll leave residues and other things. Just stay away from that. Oils, neat's foot oils, mink oils. There's mineral oils, all this stuff. The glove oleum. It's all garbage, especially glove oleum, and that stuff is trash. Oil is just going to seep into your glove and make it heavy. And on top of that, it's going to soak into the padding. It's going to make your glove really saturated. And when the ball hits, especially in the pocket, eventually it can actually cause your glove to tear. And we can all agree that that is not a desirable outcome. So stay away from oils. Conditioners. A lot of places, even Nakona, makes their own conditioner. Conditioners are generally a good idea, but Nakona's and many other places are petroleum-based. And petroleum, as someone in one of the forums has mentioned as well, and I agree with him, is a sealant. It's not really a conditioner. It seals moisture in or keeps moisture out, depending on which way you're looking at it, but it's not really giving any nutrients. Nakona's NLT conditioner does have some other stuff in there, so it does give the glove some nutrients, but it's still not, it's not really designed as much like this type of product. Lexol is designed specifically to deal with leathers, whereas the Nakona glove treatments, it's a mixed thing where the company makes gloves and they make the conditioners. Well, Lexol only makes conditioner. That's all they do. They're designed to take care of high-end leather interiors in cars and very expensive leather saddles for horses and things like that. So they're but stay away from the Lexol NF. It's got neat's foot oil in it, and that will definitely add to the destruction of your glove. However, this stuff, the plain Lexol Brown, can darken lighter tanned leather, so be aware of that. But it's not a really big deal in my opinion, but it's up to you. For me, a glove is mostly for playing, not so much for looking. And but for me, what I would do to facilitate, if you want, this is just optional, to facilitate some break-in, take a very small amount of this, and I use one of these. It's a little foam Meguiar's applicator pad. I use these for buffing cars and applying polishes and things like that. Spray a very small amount, squish it in there, and get it all nice and worked into the pad so that it's, you're only going to be applying a very small amount, and then gently rub just inside, right here. Okay, right inside the palm line, right here. Maybe a little bit up the fingers if you want, inside the webbing if you want. It'll just soften that area up a little bit. Just very small amounts. You don't want to go too heavy. You want to be very thin here. So The idea there is just to condition it, get it prepared for all the slamming of the ball that you're going to be doing with it and all the moving. You know, you want to get it just barely conditioned. You don't want to have a whole lot on there. You want to be very light with it. Another place you can put it if you want, get a very thin coating on your fingers and hand, and you stick your hand in your glove and work it out inside, you know, inside the lining. It'll also help to get the lining softened up so that, you know, when you're closing it like that, you know, the lining is going to be closing as well. One thing you definitely don't want to do, you don't want to get any kind of conditioner or any kind of oils or anything like that on the back of the glove. Anywhere along the fingers, back of the web, you know, over the top of the strap here, the thumb, all this stuff is, you know, it's thick, it's heavy, it's durable for a reason. This is the support on the glove. If you take a ball right here, and the ball comes here and hits against this part of the glove, you don't want this to bend back and let the ball come flying out. This stuff here needs to be rigid, it needs to be stiff. Only condition that if it's absolutely necessary. You know, you've had the glove for a few months, you've really ground it into the dirt, the glove's getting dry. You know, you want to make sure that it stays looking nice and whatnot, then use some conditioner. But once again, very sparingly, very lightly. But don't do it through the break-in process. The best way to break these in, you know, especially if you want to maintain a high dollar investment, like this particular glove is $200. Very expensive glove for its type. You know, these things are designed to be very stiff. This one in particular, very hard to close, but that's the way we want it. You know, that says that it's a good high quality piece of leather. Most people that are looking at videos like this are trying to figure out how to break in their their top end gloves, and you know, this is the best way to do it in my opinion. Work with it. Stick your hand in there, close it, okay, throw balls in there, get it worked out. The best way to break these in is to do it naturally. You're going to do certain things when you do it this way. You're going to only break in the points that need to be broken in based on how you're going to be closing it. Okay, that's key, because you don't want to break in anything else. You want everything to stay stiff except for the key points that need to close for your hand to close the glove and wrap around the ball. And that's it. Anything else gets loose, and then the glove becomes trash. You know, especially the fingers. A lot of people like to try and work these over. Oh, let me bend this back and bend this forward and all that. No, leave these alone. These fingers are your support points. They're key. You need these there. You know, they need to be very stiff in order for you to rely on your mitt to catch the ball in just about any situation. So you don't want to overwork it. You don't want to sit there and bend it all out of shape. I mean, the only thing I would suggest bending out of shape as much as you can is this heel area here, especially here in the hinge. Okay, this is the main place where the mitt's going to close, is in the hinge. It's a factory design break point. The heel, though, you know, especially if you want to be able to break it into a different spot, like thumb to ring finger or thumb to pinky versus thumb to middle or index. You know, if you want to break it in different and into a different place than what the factory recommended, then you can, you know, definitely squish up in here and get this heel pad broken down. You're going to want that broken down a little bit, you know, no matter what, just because it's going to help you close it even if you're going this way. So you definitely want to work that in. Excuse me. So get this area nice and broken in, but that's it. You know, work this out, squish it and twist it and crunch it up, but don't do that to anything else, especially the fingers. You want to leave the fingers stiff, straight, you know, how they are, how they're designed. Don't mess with them. Inside the pocket, you can get a glove mallet if you want, but I personally think the ball idea, you know, works out fine. You know, there's no need to get a glove mallet unless you're doing 5-10 gloves a year or more than that, and you need to have something that's specifically designed to pound the hell out of the inside of your glove, because you know, you don't want to do that often anyway. Maybe the first couple of days, you know, after you've conditioned it and you want to, you know, get the pocket formed. You look at mine, I didn't use a mallet. You know, this is after one day. I just got this glove, and all I've done is throw a ball in there. Okay, just get it on your hand, watch some TV. I watched some baseball games and just tossed it in there, and that'll work out your pocket, get it nice and round so you can cup the ball. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you know, you want to let this thing break in naturally. The best way to do it is to let it happen naturally. A lot of places, a lot of people trying to tell you throw them in the microwave, throw them in the car, throw them in the oven. You know, douse them in shaving cream, douse them in all types of oils. You know, work them in, break them, you know, roll them over in cars and all sorts of crap. And that's, you know, it's bullshit. You don't need to do all that. It's really gonna speed up the deterioration process of your glove. And, you know, yeah, it's gonna break in, but it's gonna break in a way that you don't want it to. It's gonna break in really fast, and it's gonna break the glove by killing all the support points. That's what you want. You want it to have those support points. You don't want to lose those support points. There's a reason so many people out there, you know, they fight to find these gloves that are so stiff because that's how they want them. And then you go and buy this super stiff glove and then just douse it all in oil, and now it's limp. It's not going to help you. So, you know, the key point in breaking in a glove is not to oil up anything other than the palm. You know, you want the palm, and even then, you want it to be very light. You know, a little coating on your hands, and then, you know, put your fingers and your hand in there, and then just a very light coating just on the inside of the palm here, and that's it. That's all the oiling that it needs when it's brand new. Aside from that, it's just going to take time, effort, energy, and a lot of work. You know, let the glove form to your hand. Let the glove break naturally in the points that it needs and nothing else. That's the road to success, to making sure that this glove is going to perform for you properly without, you know, any kind of excess floppiness that can come from trying to force the process along. You know, it's a little longer. It's going to take a little longer to do. It's going to be a little bit more tough on you to get it that way. It's going to be hard on your hands, but the end result is going to be much better. So stay away from the you know, the quick fixes out there. One good thing to do when you're breaking in after you get all this done is to, you know, like me, I've got this. It's a little plastic softball. I toss it in there. You know, sometimes I'll put this ball up here just to keep this up, and I'll roll the thumb over first, pinky over the thumb. Of course, it should be a lot tighter, but I'm only one-handed here. So thumb first, pinky over, real tight. And you can use Ace bandage or something like that, but I use this. It's a boxing wrist wrap. I happen to have these already. These are very long. They're very good for this because I can wrap it over a bunch of times, over and over and over again, and then tie it off with the Velcro. And then you just leave it in there overnight. Do that the first couple of days, and after that, it should be, you know, you should have your pocket formed. And this is a good idea to do no matter what. I mean, you don't need two balls in there after that, but just throw that in there when you're putting it in your bat bag or ball bag or, you know, mitt bag, whatever kind of bag you got, and just throw it in there, close it up, wrap it up. You know, by then you should probably have something a little shorter than that, because that thing is kind of a pain to keep wrapping up. But yeah, just wrap it up, tie it off, and, you know, go about your business. But you know, getting a nice plastic ball will make sure that, you know, you're not, you know, you can easily clean this without leaving any kind of excess chemicals or anything into the glove, and, you know, this won't absorb anything from the glove. You know, it's a good idea. This is fairly cheap. I think I got that for $2, $3 or something like that. So you just toss it in there, and you know, it helps keep the pocket from getting crunched up or anything like that. You want to make sure that you know, that stays nice and round in there, and that'll help. But like I said, you can also use that to help you with the break-in process over the first few days by really crunching this up and getting it, you know, really tight in there, so that because you really want to get this break point, you know, worked over and crunched up, and leave it there for a while. So for the first couple of days, just leave it in there like that overnight, and during the day, just stick your hand in there, keep closing, opening, and throwing the ball in there, working it out. Just do not bend the fingers back. Don't bend them forward. Don't mess with the fingers at all. Biggest thing is just to put your hand in it and work it out. Work it. Just work it. Toss the ball in there, work it. Okay, that's all you need to do. Everything else is a quick fix, and it's going to lead you to an undesirable result. I mean, I can't stress that enough. So many ideas out there. So many people have destroyed good gloves just by improper break-in techniques. You know, if you spent as much money as I did on this, and what some people spend even more than that, you know, more than this on their gloves, and if you spend that kind of money on a glove, you do not want to destroy it. I mean, period. These things are works of art, in my opinion. You want to take good care of them. So that's my thoughts on things. Feel free to leave me a message if you have any questions. Do my best to answer them. Until next time.